One. Good evening, Ken.
Good evening, Helmuts. How are you today?
Very good. Very hot.
Yeah, as you can tell, I'm pretty hot as well. It's scorching, isn't it?
Yes, you got proper sunburn.
Yeah, I'm not sure if it's burnt, but yeah, it probably looks worse on the screen than it actually is.
Worse. No, it looks awesome, actually.
Yeah. It's very seldom we see this sort of weather in the UK, so I'm not going to complain.
Oh, absolutely. The weather is absolutely beautiful.
Yeah.
Yes. So, Ken, could you introduce yourself, who you are, where you are from, and what do you do? Thank you.
So I'm from the northwest, west coast of the UK, place called Blackpool, which most people have heard of actually because it's a tourist town, and got involved with blockchain and DLT about 10 years ago, and we launched Audiocoin ADC around 2003, and it was one of the first. There were Litecoin, Dogecoin, Bitcoin, obviously.
So,
They
2003
were
or 2013?
2013, sorry, yeah.
13, yes, of course.
Yeah, that would be predating Bitcoin, probably 2003.
A bit.
Yeah,
Wow.
sorry. Yeah, that would be pretty impressive. I'd be able to claim to be the inventor, like the Aussie guy. So 2013 it was, and there were only a few currencies around at the time. Dogecoin had just been launched, and Bitcoin and Litecoin were there, so we decided to go with the script proof of stake. We did have a very small proof of work phase for around the first million coins. It might have been less than that actually, and then we switched over to proof of stake. So now all you have to do to mine audio coins is just run the wallet. So as long as you have ADC in your wallet and it's running and it's synced, then it will generate, it will mint new ADC after about 2 days, and then it will just continually mint as long as you have ADC in your wallet. So it's pretty easy to get involved and get started. The reason we started the project was really as a reaction to the diminishing returns for artists and in the music industry, because streaming was starting to take over at the time. Even downloads were starting to die out, and musicians were finding it really difficult to get tangible value from their creative work. So we thought cryptocurrency was a great way to address that problem. And so we've had various activations over the last 10 years, which some have worked. And the main problem we've had is that people are reasonably ignorant in a technology sense of what blockchain and cryptocurrency is. So most of the conversations, as I'm sure you'll probably resonate with, are around what Bitcoin is and what blockchain is, and even then, when you try and give them the elevator pitch, it's still difficult. In fact, I don't know if you heard it, but there's a guy on LBC, and he has this segment of his show where he asks the listeners to answer questions. And one of the questions a couple of weeks ago was, "Can somebody phone up and explain to me what Bitcoin is?" And okay. And he got 4 or 5 people phoning up. Unfortunately, they were all techies, and it was the only question that didn't get answered sufficiently well to classify as being a successfully answered question. And it was one of the only times that had happened, I think. Although there were some really good attempts. But as soon as you start mentioning proof of work or proof of stake and things like that, it just
not for the beginners. No.
So that's kind of, it's still a difficulty, I think, with all sort of blockchain applications, that it is difficult to sort of get that over to new users. We launched a platform called Aurovine, aurovine.com. It was our first kind of activation, and it's still going strong. And basically, we had a system called listen, rate, share. So What that entails is you find a piece of music on there that you like, and you can share it, and you get rewarded. The artist gets rewarded, and you get rewarded as a user with ADC if you share it to Facebook or Twitter, or social media. So you're basically giving that artist some exposure that they wouldn't normally get, and in return you get, it's only a couple of ADC, but it's been really, really good, and I don't think anyone else is doing that even now. So yeah, auravine.com is the place to go if you want to earn some ADC from scratch. You could put them in your wallet. If you download a wallet from our website, audiocoin.co.uk, you can set up that local wallet. Takes a while to get it synced up because the blockchain is quite big now, the file size of the actual blockchain. But it will.
May I open the site? Let me see. And I have to admit, this is the first time I will open it.
Mm-hmm.
So if I get something wrong, let me know.
Yeah. So
this is. Let me take off the banner. And so, hello everybody. Good evening, good afternoon, good morning, depending where you are from. This is a friendly live stream where we are learning what is one of the oldest coins, Audiocoin, what it does, what is it for, what is the ecosystem, people there, and basically what does it solve. And so you are most welcome to ask your questions. So this is your platform, Auravine, yes?
Yes, Auravine was the first activation for the coin. Yeah. So it's a blockchain powered music site.
Blockchain powered. Does it mean that it is located on the blockchain, or you still use?
No, we still use traditional servers.
Okay.
But the engagement, the user engagement, is all around ADC, and you get a wallet when you register, an online wallet, and you can see your coins.
So,
I think.
So sign in. I need to. Yes, I have.
Yeah. You'll need to do all the registration.
Then you need to sign up, and okay, that will be that. I agree. Always tick. Nobody reads them. Yes. So you would go here and
So you get 250 coins for joining the site.
Okay.
That's not instant. It takes about 24 hours for those to arrive in your wallet.
Oh, that's instant. That's like a Bitcoin speed of Bitcoin.
Yeah.
Sorry, Max Post.
Sure. Yeah.
Okay.
And then you can browse artists, search for genres of music that you might be interested in, and stream the music. And if you then go on to share that music on your social media, you will get rewarded, and so will the artists. So it's a good way. It's a good way to discover new music and also get involved in cryptocurrency at the same time.
So 250 coins for joining. Yes.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And if I have the ADC, so Audiocoin wallet, do I still have to? Well, do I have to create a new wallet, or is the integration?
No. So if you join Auravine, the wallet's created for you instantly when you sign up. If you want to stake coins, i.e., mint new coins, then you need to have a local wallet on your own PC or Mac. Yes. And then that is downloaded from the audiocoin.co.uk website.
Okay.
So those are the two main sites that we use for ADC at the moment. Obviously, it's great to have Host Maria now accepting the coin for hosting services, and the interesting part of that is that we're going to have a technology upgrade in the near future, so that we can deploy NFTs and smart contracts, and that's going to be a delegated proof of stake technology, and that's developed by a company called Blockpool, and so we're going to be a side chain of the delegated proof of stake mechanism, and users will still be able to earn coins, but it'll be a slightly different way. We're reducing the total supply and also reducing the staking rate. So now is a good time to get involved, because it's only going to be for another month or two that you'll be able to earn 15% APR on your coins that are in your wallet, that will be reduced, and the total supply will be reduced when we do the technology upgrade. So that'll be interesting to see what happens with the price and stuff when that takes place.
Okay, can we dig in a bit into the details of Audiocoin in the very basics?
Yeah.
So you said it was started in 2013.
Mm-hmm.
By whom?
So it's myself and Polish developer called Mark Schmizik.
Okay.
We came up with the idea, and we got stuck into the technology. Mark did most of the back end stuff, and yeah, we decided to use a fork of Peercoin, and the script proof of stake algo was the one we chose because probably in hindsight, the reason we did it was that we did have sort of one eye towards the energy emissions of Bitcoin at the time. We always thought that might be a problem, and we just liked the idea that users could run a wallet and earn coins just for running a wallet without having to plug in, expensive hardware.
And of course, once the competition comes in.
Yeah, there's a lot of proof of stake coins now, but still, the main ones like Ethereum, Bitcoin, Dogecoin are all mineable coins that you need hardware. Dogecoin is slightly more efficient.
Is Doge mineable?
Yeah, CPU. I remember in the early days, it took some fairly hefty CPU power to mine Doge. As far as I know, it's the same technology. I don't think they've.
Okay. I thought. Okay, I'm not really fluent in the history of Doge. I thought they were just pre-mined, and then times by times the system just emits more coins.
No? That would not. Well, you might be right. I'm not an expert on Dogecoin.
Yes.
It's only really
yes, Monero, Ethereum Classic, of course. Dash started the same way that they introduced masternodes, and but Doge, I'm not sure that Doge is mineable. Although, please correct me, whoever knows better.
Well, it definitely was in the early days because
okay.
myself and Mark used to mine it with our CPUs.
Really?
Sorry, our GPUs, not our CPUs.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay, so and so you started. It started so Audiocoin started as proof of work. So you were mining it.
Yeah, but it only lasted like around about 6 weeks, the proof of work stage, and then we switched over totally to proof of stake. Yeah.
How difficult or easy was it to switch over?
It was built into the code base, so it was an automatic switch. Yeah. So that was the way that that we decided to do it in those days. A lot of coins were launched in the same way, that there was a mineable period because a lot of people were mining coins in those days. You didn't need the type of hardware that you need now. So it was kind of just to suit the community, and that we could satisfy that demand for a mineable coin for a short phase, and then switch over. And it's been quite a good choice. I mean, it's a fairly big blockchain now, like 4 gigabytes or something, but it's been totally solid. We've not had any problems with it. It's stood the test of time. But it's starting to show its age in terms of the wallet does take quite a long time to synchronize because of the size of it, and we want to take advantage of new features like NFTs and smart contracts, which we weren't able to do, or we aren't able to do currently.
Okay. Simple question: any pre-mined coins or zero?
Yeah, we had, I think it was 5%. I'd have to consult the white paper, but it was 5%. There was no ICO, but we had about 5% pre-mine for development fund use, just to sort of help us with marketing and all that kind of stuff and development.
Okay, what is the total supply and in circulation?
So there's round about I'd have to just check up on the Block Explorer, but
Roughly.
There's so the total supply was 10.5 billion. We're reducing.
Okay.
Yeah, that's going to be reduced to around about 3 billion when we do the technology upgrade.
How do you plan to do that? Burning coins or?
There are. Let me just. I'm going to have to double check this. 1 second.
That is an interesting. This is the first time I hear a coin decides to decrease the total amount.
Yep, that's it. Let me just take a look at chains. So yeah, we've got.
And I do apologize. I do apologize about simple.
No, it's fine.
Simple questions. You know, in these days, there are ways how we evaluate coins.
Yeah, yeah.
Just the usual technical stuff. Yes, thank you.
Yeah. So it looks like if I'm reading this right, that we're up to. 1 second.
So you started with 5%. That's. So 1% is out of 10 billion. Yes. So 1% is 100 million. Am I
100
right?
million it was, yeah.
100 million. So that's 1%, and so 500 million. You started with 500 million ADCs.
I'm just consulting the white paper. I'm totally unprepared for these questions.
That's good.
Yeah,
that's good.
Yeah. So
and of course, whoever is watching, this is the age. So while Ken is just double checking. Of course, it is better to double check than just shoot out the numbers, just being unsure. So you can ask your questions, and this is. I haven't seen any information. I haven't seen any information on podcasts or YouTube like regarding the Audiocoin. So if you are an investor, if you like those smaller coins, perspective coins, old coins, cheaper coins that could shoot up and give you that ROI, then ask your questions and see yourself. Is it something you want to try or not?
Yeah. So yeah, 525 million was the pre-mine. The proof of stake switched over at block 87752.
Okay, so block 87. That is block 87. Okay,
87,000 was the block.
Okay, 87,000. I was thinking, what is the block time then? 6 weeks.
The block time is 4,000 coins per block.
Wow. Okay.
During the proof of work phase, and that reduced by 5% every week during the proof of work phase. And then when we changed over to proof of stake, the staking rate was 1.5% per month. It varies because it's stealth based, but you're looking at around 15 to 18% per year. The block time is 60 seconds.
So 60 seconds. Okay. So 60 seconds, and annual is 10-15%. Yes.
Yeah.
Now. Okay.
So 1.1 billion are in circulation at the moment.
So 1.1 billion.
Yeah.
1.1 billion. And when do you plan to reach those 3 billion?
Like I said, that's been over 8 years or something. So we've generated that amount with a fairly high staking rate. So even at 3 billion, because the staking rate is going to be reduced to something like 5%, it'll be. I've got the proposal is in the. We have an Audiocoin. This is probably something I should have said in the intro. We have Audiocoin is not centrally owned. It's owned by the community. So we have an Audiocoin Foundation, which you can join at governance.audiocoin.co.uk. It tells you all about the foundation. And we vote on all the upgrade proposals, and anything really to do with the coin is subject to a vote by the community. So all the specifications for the new code base and the supply of coins, etc., are in a resolution at the foundation site. So all the specs that we proposed and were voted on can be found there. The foundation's free to join, but if you join as an advocate, which costs it's pretty cheap. I think it's about $20 or something. If you join as an advocate, that means you have 10 times voting power. A normal membership, free membership, is 1 times voting power. So it's basically the way the coin is governed by the community through the foundation.
Okay, so let us talk about this side. So there were in the beginning there was you and Mark, yes, Polish developer.
Mhm.
And what is the structure of the whole? So who develops the coin? Is it still in development? Are they still updates being done?
Yeah, it's still in development. Like I say, there's no centralized ownership. So
Yes.
apart from access to the GitHub, that's pretty much all we control. There isn't any company behind it. It's a totally community coin. We've got partnerships with Blockpool, who are disclosure here. I helped found Blockpool as well, but they've got, they're a centralized company with developers and directors, etc.
Yes.
And so we've decided to go with Blockpool because it means we can guarantee our code base upgrades and development life cycle will be sustained. At the moment, it depends on community input, which it obviously isn't guaranteed that you're going to get the best support there, although up to now it's been pretty good. But with Blockpool, we've got that guarantee, and they've just launched NFTs, side chains, smart contracts, and lots of functionality that we can take advantage of. And ADC will be probably their second side chain. There's another project around music that they're just launching. So yeah, we're pretty excited about the code base upgrade because we think it'll get us a lot more exposure and be really good for the coin.
So regarding the developers, you have a company, professional blockchain development company,
Yeah.
Blockpool.io.
Yes.
Is it?
Mhm.
Yes.
Yeah.
You are part owner of the company.
Yeah, I've got equity in Blockpool. Yes. Yeah.
Okay, and then there is pool of just community members who, when they wish, they can go and submit the possible changes to the Audiocoin on GitHub.
Yeah, the foundation. So the foundation have voted to move the code base to Blockpool infrastructure.
Okay, so there are developers, so professional developers and just standalone lone wolves.
Yes.
And then there is foundation. Yes.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
And what is the foundation? How is it formed? Who owns it? Who created it?
So we decided that because Audiocoin doesn't have centralized ownership and doesn't have a fiscal money supply of any kind, that it was reasonably unsustainable to carry on with that structure where it was just based on voluntary work and activities. So we decided that, when I say we, myself, Danon, some of the Blockpool guys, a lot of the existing ADC community, that we would discuss how best to sustain ADC as a cryptocurrency. And the result was that we would form a foundation that existing members of the community could join and new members could join, so that all the decisions around the currency would be taken by the community and would inevitably be, or hopefully be, for the good of the long-term, existence of the coin, and also potentially the value.
And what is the voting process? How many members do you have? And
So at the moment, it's a fairly small group. We have about 30 members, about 14 of those are advocates, which means they have the extra voting power. And we do it through the website that I just mentioned, governance.audiocoin.co.uk. And we've had three votes so far around. The first ones were around the logistics and the schematics of how the foundation would work, and that was the first vote we had. What were going to be the terms of membership, etc. And then we had another small vote, which I can't remember what that was about. But the main vote that we've just had was the code base upgrade, and it was passed by 100% unanimously to make that change. So it's just a mechanism on the website. We publish a vote, and then foundation members can vote yes or no, or if there's more than two options, whatever option they want. Very similar to how governance is carried out on other cryptocurrencies. Yeah.
And who works on strategy? The whole community, or is it just as it flows?
We tend to do most of the discussions on Discord. There's a Discord channel, and obviously the guys at Aurovine, Danon and Marika, primarily we have regular meetings with those guys to see what they're looking for in terms of features. There's a lot of noise around fractionalized NFTs now for crowdfunding, which are particularly appropriate to the music industry. And so that was one of the reasons why we needed to upgrade existing community members. I think we've got about 40 people hosting core nodes, peer nodes for the network, and yeah, it's kind of a close community. We've had ups and downs. The price is very low at the moment. I think it's about 3 satoshis, but it has been up to 300.
Wow.
When we've done, when we did the Bjork activation and a couple of other announcements we made, I think we had a 19 million market cap at one point. I think it's just over 1 million at the moment. So there's a lot of potential there. We've seen in the press, haven't we? Elon Musk tweets about something and prices go crazy. I'm not sure I like it really. I think if Donald Trump's going to tweet about cryptocurrency and affect the prices, then I think we're all in a sinking ship.
Sadly, he's kicked out.
we're
the best guy of Twitter is out.
yeah. So yeah, I mean, it's a bit crazy the way sentiment affects prices, but I guess we've just got to live with it.
Okay, so that's that is that. Okay, so and you would say so out of 30, 14 are like strong core members.
Advocates, yeah, we call them advocates.
You call them advocates. Okay,
yeah,
that's awesome. So Audiocoin, what does it do? So I understand you have this. Oh God, have you thought of a different URL? Aurovine.
Yeah, actually,
what's the meaning? Yes.
What's the meaning? Well,
yes.
AU signifies audio.
Okay.
And Vine is like a growing thing with connected.
Of course. Yes.
Yeah. So the RO bit just connects the two things together.
Romania.
Yeah, maybe. Yeah.
Yes, I thought maybe it is.
There is some talk around potentially buying some different domain names to make it easier to. It's not easy to pronounce. It's Aurovine, but some people say Arovine or whatever.
Yes.
So yeah, it has been discussed.
Okay, so you have your platform, Aurovine. Was it launched the same time as the Audiocoin?
Aurovine was actually launched before Audiocoin.
Okay.
And the cryptocurrency element was something we introduced at quite an early stage, and it was at the time we were kind of involved with the music industry anyway. A guy called Dave Blundell joined the company, who was a promoter, and he got some. He was regular at conferences like I was, and he met a guy called Kevin Bacon, who was a Grammy award-winning producer, worked with a lot of famous artists, and was in a band himself called Comsat Angels. And so he came to us because he saw we were actually doing some real world stuff with cryptocurrency, whereas everyone else was just talking about it. So the biggest music industry event at the time was MIDEM in France, in Cannes. And so that's where we had our launch. We worked with UK independents and the BPI and various government organisations to do a launch at MIDEM. People like Imogen Heap were there. All the Ethereum guys were there. So there was some pretty heavy hitters in the room. And we had a really, when there's free beer, it's always a successful launch, isn't it?
Of course, absolutely.
But yeah, I mean, it's kind of died off a little bit because the other events, such as Slush in Finland, have kind of stolen the thunder of MIDEM. But it's a great place to have a music event because they have like concerts on the beach, and if you're a delegate there, you get free food, and it's brilliant. Yeah, really, really good. I highly recommend it. I think they still, hopefully, post-COVID, it will still be going strong.
So note to everybody who organize events, remember free beer and food.
Yeah.
Oh, it does work.
Oh, it does cost about €500 or €600 for a ticket though.
And if you find a sponsor for the food, then the tickets can go free of charge, and then you get more.
Yeah.
Oh, I love events. I don't know how about you.
Yeah.
God, I miss the time when we'll be able to go back to the events.
I know, it's incredible, isn't it? How you miss them when you sort of restricted from anything for 2 to 3 years, and it's like you've got this craving to get back.
Absolutely, up to tears, Now, as you said, God, I know that in September I should go to Amsterdam to that Webmaster Summit, and then in the springtime to Spain or Portugal. Come on, everybody is like.
Yeah, Benicassim in Spain, that's another good one. And there's a music summit in Barcelona, I think. So you could probably go to one every month if you wanted. South by Southwest in Austin, that's awesome as well.
Okay, so you launched Audiocoin. So the idea is musicians create profiles there.
Yeah.
Upload their music.
Mm-hmm.
For creating profile, they probably get some coins as well.
Yes, they do. Yeah, I think I can't remember the artists because Dana and Marika are running that platform, but I think artists get more than 250. I think they get 1,000. Don't quote me explicitly on that.
No problem.
Yeah.
So that's so artists, especially, of course, it is the question of chicken and egg,
Yeah.
And in your case, the musicians would need to be fast.
Yeah, I mean, we need, obviously the content needs to be on the website to attract the users. So I think the latest we had about 11,000 artist registration. Sorry, wow. 11,000 user registrations and about 2,000 artists.
Okay.
The guys might be able to update that to the current figures today, but it's grown. I wouldn't say it's exploded, but it's grown a reasonable sort of level. And as people get more blockchain savvy, the Gen Zs are more blockchain savvy than old geezers like me. But yeah, when they get, when I think the momentum is growing, the more exposure we have in the mainstream, even if it's bad exposure, it doesn't matter. The Gen Zs can see through all that bullshit. And yeah, I'm sure we're going to see a massive explosion in digital currency, and the way I'm convinced the fintech world is going to be totally disrupted, and that's why a lot of the negative press is coming out from the Greenspans of the world, the people who don't want the change to happen because they've got their own cushy numbers going. But anyone who's seen The Big Short knows what a scam the traditional fintech world is. So it's
Ever
right
changing.
for disruption.
Yeah.
Yeah.
just wait for it.
Yeah.
Here is a money question. We can see somebody's got, and Bruno, I don't know if I can call him a friend of mine. He's a successful business owner.
Yeah.
Yes, from London, and he looks like he wants to get some audio coin. Can he get them on Binance?
Okay, so no, you cannot get ADC on Binance. We are hoping to get it on a tier 1 exchange. We've been talking to Upbit and one or two others. At the moment, you can only get it on txbit.io. That's txbit.io, which is a Scandinavian exchange. And
txb.io. Okay.
Yeah, let me just put it in the chat.
Okay. Is it an old exchange?
It's relatively new. I think they've been going for a couple of years now, but it's really good, and they've got 0 commissions at the moment, which is always useful for traders. I've used it personally, and I've had, it's a great experience. They do coin drops as well, regular coin drops.
So I posted it elsewhere. Okay, here you go. The link is coming. Just hold there. Here we go.
That's
txbit.io. Okay.
Like anything, it's a lot of the because we don't have centralized ownership, and most of the exchanges charge horrendous fees to list coins. It's not something we've been able to do, but because we are now migrating over to new technology, Blockpool have got some relationships with the tier 1 exchanges.
Okay.
And so we're hoping we can get on one of those in the near future. Obviously, it'll be after the code base upgrade.
Very good. So txbit.io, and you can buy. So and one coin is 3 Satoshi. Yes.
Yeah. So it's been hovering between 3 and 4 Satoshis recently.
Okay, and in the question of Bruno, so he would be a hodler. I definitely know that he is a hodler. Not a quick buy and sell after 2 weeks. Just hold for half a year, for a year.
Yeah, it's like anything, isn't it? I'd say because the price is so low, it's a good time to buy, but nobody can predict what will happen, in the future.
And then how is this staking? How does the staking work if he holds the coins in TXBit?
So there's no staking in TXBit. One thing that is good about holding coins there is that when we do the code base upgrade, TXBit are going to automatically upgrade all the wallets to the new structure. Whereas if you're running a personal wallet, which does stake new coins, there's going to be a script that you have to run locally to do the upgrade. It will give you, the script will generate a new address and passphrase for the new chain. So it'll be reasonably easy, but the easiest way will be to hold coins on TXBit.
Okay, and if you want to stake them, if you want to go for those extra 10 to 15% in coins, yes, not in Satoshi, not in fiat, but in Audiocoin ADC, then you should hold them on your computer wallet, and the wallet should be running 24/7.
It doesn't have to be running 24/7. No, you can switch it off, and then when it's reactivated, it will stake coins. This is a bit of a contentious subject, but I found that even if you switch it off and then turn it on again in a couple of weeks or a month, it seems to stake the coins that you would have had had it been left on. Yeah,
very nice. Okay, so that's awesome. Quick question: what does ACDC say about ADC coin?
They think it's great.
No trademark issues, though.
I think not Bon Scott anymore, is it? He's died. Brian Johnston, sorry. Yeah, Brian Johnston's the singer now. I might be wrong with that even. Yeah, he wears an ADC t-shirt all the time. No, he doesn't really. But yeah, maybe that's what we should do. We should encourage him to wear one.
One of my favorite T-shirts. I've got a black ACDC T-shirt. Like, oh god, I just love it.
Yeah, there's a pub down the road here, and there's ACDC tribute that play there, and he gets up on the table in his schoolboy uniform doing the riffs. It's I've never seen them live. A friend of mine, Paul Dowd's a big ACDC fan.
Yes.
He's seen them live a few times, and he said they were awesome.
I don't know, for maybe 5-6 years ago, I rediscovered ACDC for myself, and the music to wake up.
Yeah, definitely, yeah.
Yes, you know the feeling. So you've woken up early in the morning, your day is going on, you got tired, you got back, and you are still working on, and you are exhausted, but the work is not done.
Yeah,
the night is young.
Yeah, stick that on.
You need to work.
But it's better. It's
you switch on hell bells, thunderstruck, and oh yes.
Yeah, it's better than the energy drinks to get you going.
Oh. Boys and girls, do not drink energy drinks. They are bad. Okay, so you have 2 million musicians, artists.
No, we've got.
So 2,000.
2,000, yeah. 2 million would be good. Yeah, 2 million would be awesome.
So 2,000, and listening to the music is free, is it?
Yeah, you can. As an artist, you can charge for downloads if you want. So there's a system set up for that. It's up to the artist, really. They can stream 30 seconds or full tracks or whatever they want, really.
Okay, so it would be quite similar to SoundCloud, yes?
Yeah, there are a lot of similar sites that aren't using cryptocurrency, like Bandcamp, SoundCloud.
I love Bandcamp, and
yeah,
but mostly I listen to SoundCloud. And SoundCloud, maybe a couple of years ago, they introduced that a pre-play. If you want to play the whole song, you need to buy it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, they needed to monetize it, really, because it was free for a long time, wasn't it? To do what you wanted with. But I think sites
that was losing money. Yes,
I think sites like Napster, Bandcamp have really sort of shown the way to go with music. A lot of my favorite bands are on Bandcamp, and that's the way I enjoy music. If it's a traditional way, but I'm hoping that some of them will embrace cryptocurrency as well. Maybe once Orovine have stolen the market share. But no, there's room for everybody with music. There's such a big market there, isn't there? I think what is it? Something like 80% of the whole market is now controlled by the three majors: Universal, Sony, and Warner Brothers. So there's a long way to go before we see, independent artists with a significant market share.
Really? Those three? I thought Audio on Amazon were quite impressive players now with their digital solutions.
Yeah, well, they're sort of the distributors, so the labels are the people that own the artist,
of course,
the royalties. Yeah,
of course, yes.
Yeah, but yeah, as you say, Amazon, Spotify, and etc. Is the lion's share. I think the main problem for artists is that they sell whatever 150 streams on Spotify in a week and see 0.01 cent or something for it, and it's really difficult to make the same type of money that you would from touring live and selling CDs at concerts like they used to. So I think you have to find new ways to earn the money. The music distribution is at the moment is still difficult using the existing streaming models that Spotify use. I mean, the labels are happy because they get significant percentage, and if they've got huge artists, then they're still seeing, even though it's a small amount per stream, because these major artists are selling so much, it's still a lot of revenue for the majors, and the majors have also got equity in Spotify, so they're earning from both ends, if you like.
Have you got an app as well? I want to taste it.
No, the Auravine site is
Oh,
responsive, mobile responsive.
yes.
It's designed as like a web app, so that it
Okay.
works on both.
Do you have plans about the app? As the
Yeah, I
music,
mean it's
just to be
continual.
honest, just
Yeah,
to be honest.
no, it's continual upgrade. I mean, we've only just if Danon was here, he'd tell you how what sort of an agonising last 6 or 7 months he's had getting the site upgraded to where it is now. But there are a lot of new features planned, and there is continual development on Auravine because it's now it's third party owned. I'm still involved, but there are really good people driving that site forward. So
Okay.
if ADC, which I'm sort of more responsible for, can help Auravine grow as a site, then everyone will be happy.
Okay. Yes. Yeah. Do you own aurovine.co.uk as well?
Auravine.co.uk is Danon's site now. Yeah.
Okay, Danans. It doesn't resolve. And at the beginning, by mistake, I entered
Okay.
.co.uk. It would be
It might.
just a friendly thing. It would be
We
quite easy to redirect it to .com.
we did do, and I know that it's
No
possible.
problem at all.
It was redirected up probably up until a couple of months ago, and it might have lapsed. I'm not sure, but yeah, you'd have to ask Danon on that one.
Can I ask you a bit hosting wise question? Who hosts?
So
How big is the? It should be huge.
Yeah, I think there's a lot of stuff on S3, and so that will give you the answer to the question. It's all Amazon hosted. So
Amazon.
yeah, so we've had that discussion already with the Auravine developers.
Yes.
Terse Software do the development for Auravine, and myself, Danon, and them have discussed moving that over to Host Maria as soon as we can. Once, as you know, I'm testing it at the moment with some instances myself. Sorry, some BPSs. I'm just waiting for some instructions from the Blockpool guys as to what I need to do to set up one of the newer nodes. But yeah, so that I mean
How big is it? It should have.
It's big. It's quite big. Yeah, yeah. I mean, it's. I can't remember the size of the S3 containers. Obviously, it's dynamic the way that grows and the way they charge for it. But yeah, I mean, it would make absolute sense for us to move over. One thing that I was researching today, actually, because we got an inquiry on some about energy efficiency and how energy efficient, and so I actually researched this earlier on, and know that Google and Microsoft Azure are both claiming zero carbon emissions, carbon neutral, whereas Amazon and IBM have pledged to hit a neutrality by 2030. So I think that sort of consideration will become quite important as well going forward, now that people's minds have been focused on climate change, etc.
Of course. Yes. Yeah. But then with time, electricity will be solar, and anyway, electricity.
Yeah, renewables. Yeah. That's the ultimate, isn't it?
Yes, we are going the right direction anyway.
Yeah, sure.
Yes. So AWS. Yes. So how are the traffic spikes in AWS for you as a user? I'm just curious from my point of view.
I've got no idea. Sorry,
I've heard some horror story, but yeah.
Yeah, I think we have had issues with spikes. I mean, everything goes through
the cost wise.
Yeah, I'm not sure. The infrastructure costs always make me cry whenever I see the bills, but especially on Blockpool's side, actually, I spoke to the CTO of Blockpool the other day about at their infrastructure because it's significant. You know,
Yes.
a few $1,000s a month, and you know, so it's a significant part of their spend. So they are looking to migrate to something that's energy efficient, and B, to hopefully reduce the prices from their existing provider.
Of course. The normal business decisions, you know?
Yeah, yeah.
You always compare,
Yeah.
of course, and you do not take risks neither, of course.
No, and it's you know, I mean, I think for startups and people that are deploying new technologies, you know, it can be quite a while until they start to see significant revenues, and yet they still have the, you know, the infrastructure costs are probably over 50% of their monthly outgoings. So it's a massive issue for startups, technology startups. Yeah, that's maybe something you could do, Helmuts. You could have a startup package.
Well, we have our cheap, really cheap cloud hosting, but in your case, you need a different solution, of course.
Yeah, I mean, I think when I was talking to Alex about the setup, the VPS setup, it's peculiar versions of Linux that are
Yes.
more suitable for hosting cryptocurrency nodes.
Yes.
But you know, he managed to sort that out straight away, which was great. Really good response from him.
You're most
So
welcome.
yeah,
He's experienced guy, and
yeah.
close to 50, and yes, really experienced. Laid down as well, no stress.
Yeah, and you don't get that from the bigger companies. Well, I mean, you know, they obviously have the support systems, but it's not something you can expect to be done within 24 hours, unless you're paying for, you know, massive support contracts.
Well, we try. We can't always promise 24 hours.
Yeah,
Yes, of course.
yeah, I understand.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. So artists, and now there is a question from the other side. So artists, what are your protections on artists opening? Let us say one artist will open 10 or 100 accounts.
Well, I mean, we don't have anything to, you know, to automatically prevent that.
Just pocketing those 1,000 coins each time.
Well, we did have a problem with that, and it's a good question. We had a problem with that originally, so we did put some, you know, we put some IP protection measures in, and then people were using VPNs to get around that.
Yes, Ken, for me, I know the problem. Our system has been abused by Vietnamese students, and I understand them. Nobody got penalized or something. We just explained the situation and closed the doors. But people will try to abuse your system.
Of course, yeah. I mean, you're going to get that with any sort of any asset that has a value attached to it.
Yes.
People will try and scam it, and it's just, you know, trying to put up as much as the technology exists that can help us try to prevent it. So, but we do that. That's part of the reason why we manually do the coins for registration system. We'd actually do that manually in batches, so that we can filter out all the spam emails and things like that. I mean, a few will get through, but you know, if someone's that desperate to get a few coins, then you know, I'm sure, I'm sure there are easier ways. You could just register it and get a coin dropped.
It means they are fans of ADC.
Yeah, must be something like that.
Yes, they've invested their time. That is proof of time.
Yeah, proof of time. Yeah. So what about music? What's you know, what do you think about music and crypto? And
I love music. I absolutely. Though I do love buying music on iTunes. I do not use that paid membership. I hate renting something. I prefer owning. I'm one of those types who prefer owning.
Yeah, it's interesting, isn't it? Because I think that obviously I'm like that as well, being older. But the younger generation seem to feel that ownership is, they can just listen to it whenever they want anyway. So why do you need to own it?
and they win, win.
Yeah.
Because when they want, they can enjoy anything with that membership.
Yeah.
And we just get stuck. No, I haven't bought it. I will not listen.
Well,
come on. and the loser is one who stays without having a possibility to hear that beautiful song.
It's the march of technology, isn't it? I remember when we moved from vinyl to cassette and then cassette to CD, they were kind of inferior formats. Obviously, CD was classed as a superior format in terms of its durability. But I only buy albums on vinyl now because I like to read the cover notes, and really? I like the artwork and stuff like that. So the whole thing of having a side one and a side two, that's how I was brought up on music. So if I was just streaming those 12 tracks, it would have a much less impact on me as an individual than owning the album. So that's the reason, and it's just a legacy reason. You know, younger people don't have that, so there's no reason to go. A lot of them are going back to vinyl and discovering it. So let's hope that trend continues as well.
Vinyl is something I have to admit I do not. I kind of get, but still.
Yeah.
All technology and.
Well, there is a school of thought that still thinks vinyl, because it's analog system, is superior quality to CD. For instance, you can sample a vinyl album at much higher bit rates than I think it's 2448. No, 1644 is the CD sample rate, whereas you could sample a vinyl record at 2448 kilohertz, and so you've got essentially
2448. Wow.
So you've essentially got a higher, you've got more bits per second than you have with CD.
So those who are listening, just to explain, if you are listening to podcasts, then once we are talking about 2400, the podcast would quite usually be in 60 up to 90, just to save the size.
Yeah, I mean,
the music, when MP3s came in, then the great MP3s were 240. Am I right?
Yeah, I mean, MP3s, I mean, are heavily compressed.
They were 128, yes, heavily compressed. Yes.
Yeah, the 128 ones are unlistenable, in my opinion. But I mean, I'd listen to it in a car or whatever, yes. But there's no way I'd listen to it on headphones because it's compressed so much that half the music's gone. So yeah, I'm pretty old school in terms of audio and how I listen to it. It's got to be through proper speakers, vinyl turntable, and a decent amplifier.
And here we go into the audio wine. Oh, you should get the audio wine. Auto wine.
Yeah. Yeah. Again,
what is the quality there?
So we.
What are the formats?
It was, when we launched it, it was lossless. So you could the FLAC format, which is the preferred digital format for most people who listen to music, because it's uncompressed. Yes, it's a lossless compression system.
So FLAC or something like that. Yes.
FLAC, yeah. So so that's the best way to buy. There are some sites that will only sell lossless music, and they usually allow you to download it in a WAV file or FLAC. Yeah, so that's the quality we started off. There was an option to sell, MP3s because customers sometimes want the quicker downloads, so we had that as an option as well. I'm not 100% sure what it is at the moment, because I've kind of moved away from the the mechanics of the Aurovine site. It would be a question for Dana. Maybe we could get Dana on. But actually, we're doing a podcast, so we can if you'll come on as a guest on our podcast, we can bring that question up and see what he says.
Oh, we most definitely can. Yes.
Yeah.
Yes, and it is just a question. And how often do you listen to Aurovine yourself?
When I was I'm not so much now because I don't have time because I'm busy doing other things. But if I will check on the site at least once a week, and I'm still helping with the ADC stuff. We did have a feature called we had charts. So
Okay.
you could search for, let's say you were searching for heavy metal. It would give you the charts of the most listened to stuff. And I used to use that quite a lot. I think Dana's going to bring that back in a slightly modified form
Okay.
that might look at how many coins that each artist has earned, and then the one that has earned the most coins will be the top of the search or the charts for that genre. But that was the feature I used to use the most because it was just the easiest way for me to get to the kind of music that I liked. Wasn't heavy metal, by the way. I was just using that as an example.
Okay, and how? And when users register at Audiocoin, then they listen to the music mostly free of charge, as all the ordinary citizens of internet usually do.
Yeah.
Everything
They
that is
expect
free
it.
is
Yeah.
good.
Mm-hmm.
Everything that is
Yeah.
paid is evil.
Yeah.
But, well, that is just the culture. And then they can own the coins by sharing
Yes,
these
that's right.
songs
Yeah.
on Facebook, Twitter, or elsewhere.
Yeah, it's called Listen Rate Share. So it's a pop up that comes after. So I think it's after about a minute of the song, and then it's all automatic. You can choose to get rid of it, or you can choose to share it, and that's when you
Oh,
win the coins.
so every listen will give you some coin as well.
Yes, if you decide to share it, yeah.
Sorry, could you explain, please?
So you start listening to the song, and then
Okay.
after about a minute or so, you get a pop up asking if you want to rate the song or if share the song. Called Listen, Rate, Share. So you can then share. If you share it to social media, obviously that's good for the artist because other people might see that you've listened to that song. So the
Yes.
artist gets, I think it's 2.5 coins, and the user gets 2.5 coins,
Okay.
and that's the way it works. And those coins go into your wallet so that you can do whatever you want. You can send them to the exchange, or you can buy downloads with them. Whatever you want to do, same as any cryptocurrency.
Okay. And can you buy music with Audiocoin at Audiocoin, or do you
Yeah.
have to pay in fiat?
I think there's both at the moment, so you can do PayPal or ADC. Last time I looked.
Okay.
Yeah.
Very good.
And the other probably thing that I should mention is that Danon's got 8 or 9 partnerships lined up. So for musicians, they'll be able to, for example, rent studio time, and I'm not entirely sure what all the services are. I think he's got some festivals signed up, so that artists can use ADC to rent studio time or apply for festivals and things like that. Lots of different services. So that's quite exciting for Aurovine that those are coming online soon.
Oh, that's very good. Have you got some numbers on Audiocoin? How many songs do you have there, or something?
My figures that I've got stored in my head are quite old now, but I know that from the 1,500 artists, we had something like 20,000 tracks.
Okay.
But that's probably significantly increased now. And again, probably another question for the Aurovine guys on the podcast.
Okay. And where can I see the categories on Audiocoin?
Probably the search box. I think the genre, when an artist registers, they register the genre. So you would search for that genre in the search box.
Okay. So there are. So as I'm in there, my apologies. I'm on a vertical monitor. So I'm here.
Yeah, that
Search
one at
for
the top.
songs, yes, sign in, and then also so new releases and top streams, so the most streamed ones, more music. Okay.
Give it a go at the top.
And
Type
audio.
heavy metal in at the top and at the very top bar. See that?
Okay, yes, yes, and there's search, yes. Okay.
You have to be signed in, maybe.
No, of course I can use it. I need to go. My keyboard is quite far away.
All right, gotcha.
During the conversations, why do you need a keyboard? You know.
It's telepathy. That's how you do. That's how you type it into the chat box, is it?
Okay, Ken. Any future plans for the Audiocoin? So what are the plans? Yes.
Yeah, so we got quite a big PR and marketing schedule around the upgrade, the technology upgrade. I think I mentioned to you when we spoke the other day that quite a big charity, musicians charity based in the United States called Sweet Relief, are going to be our official charity partner, which we're going to put a press release out about that soon. So,
Okay.
Sweet Relief is a charity that is focused on musicians and also music industry workers and professionals. And in the United States, because the private healthcare is all paid for,
Yes.
and because of COVID, no one's allowed to tour or work. A lot of the music industry people that they represent have fallen on hard times, and if they've had COVID, they have big bills for hospitalization. So they've got a massive waiting list. They don't have enough funds basically to distribute to all their members. So it was cryptocurrency was a new thing for them. So we're hoping that the coins that we're going to establish them as a delegate on the new framework. So they will automatically earn new coins. We've donated some coins to them. So if the coin rises in value, they'll be able to cash out for stable coins or whatever, and be able to add that to the amounts that they can then use to help these musicians in need. So it's a very worthwhile project.
So and that is okay. That is. And what is Audiocoin getting back, or Audiwine? From that
No,
partnership?
we're just doing it as a sort of a mutual from a mutual understanding. Blockchain for good. So we're getting the fact that we're going to feel good about it,
Yes.
and we're helping. Audiocoin is a music-based cryptocurrency designed primarily to help independent musicians, and that's what that will do. We're not really interested in monetary gain because it's community-owned. The community wants to see ADC do, implemented for good. Because it's a cryptocurrency, people might also be able to trade and make some gains in that way. But that isn't the primary reason that we started off ADC. It was to try and disrupt the music industry to make it a fairer ecosystem than what it currently is.
I just kind of thought that Voice did steal your idea.
Who's that? Sorry.
Voice, the EOS. Who bought Voice.com? They paid 8 million something, or not 8 million. No, 30 million, 20,
EOS.
20 30 million. Yes, Voice. So the guys who bought cryptocurrency project who bought Voice.com, they wanted to put social network on blockchain, and pay everybody to pay in crypto to all the influencers and anybody who provides content. Worthy content. So they just took your idea and put it over from music into social.
No, I mean, that's great. I mean, the more companies that do that sort of thing, the better, really, because the world's going to be a better place. So we're not worried about any competition. I mean, there's inevitably going to be competition that will do this sort of this kind of work in a better way because they'll be centrally funded, whereas we are community funded. So we're not bothered about any of that stuff. We won't have any IP lawyers, or I believe Apple, their biggest department is litigation and IP and patent law. So their whole company is based around people not copying them.
Well, what are the actually copyrights? Or
with software, there isn't much.
The copyright side on the or not trademarks, but yes, not copyrights. What were the intellectual rights?
Mm-hmm. Well, you can have registered trademarks, obviously, for company names, but in terms of the blockchain, it's all open source. Anyone can port.
In terms of music, that is.
Music, yeah, that's heavily copyrighted. Yeah. I mean, music's heavily copyrighted, so everyone has to be. Normally, everyone's registered with a PRO, which is a publishing company that's relevant to their specific country. There are actually moves afoot to bring a lot of that type of stuff, the royalty side, metadata side of music, onto the blockchain as well. Companies like Revelator are doing some good work in that sphere, and there's one or two others that have been in touch with us. So, I mean, that whole royalty spaghetti of the music industry. There's so many different levels of people taking a cut, and then, for instance, I think it's something like 9 months from a stream on Spotify to the artist being paid can take 6 to 9 months, which is just horrendous. I mean, if you think of blockchain technology, that could be done instantly. Oh. A smart contract could distribute those royalties to all the the stakeholders for that particular song, such as the producer, the musicians, whoever's got a stake.
So 6 months, that's crazy.
Yeah, it's just horrendous. I mean, you get a report. We know this because we did it with Aurovine. So you get a report of the sales after 3 months, and then you get paid after 6 months. That's sort of the quickest. But in practice, it takes longer than that to actually do it. So crazy. No touring musician or independent musician could survive on that sort of payment process, which is why live shows have taken over, because you're getting paid instantly then, and you've got much more control over it, providing you're not signed to a big label.
And how do you make sure that the music artists upload is copyright free, or that they own all the intellectual rights to the music?
We do a very similar procedure to most music sites, where obviously it's impossible to. I mean, there are scraping tools that can analyze music for for copyright, but we don't use one of those at present on Aurovine. But we have a takedown notice, so if anyone spots a piece of music that's been used illegally, or any sort of plagiarism, then we'll take it down immediately. But there are a lot of sophisticated sort of algorithmic tools now that can process music and flag up pieces of copyrighted music. So that's definitely something that is on the roadmap.
Let us say Facebook comes in, and we are rounding up, and Facebook comes in and says, "Hey Ken, here is a fat check. We are taking over. We'll take care of Audiocoin, of our whole community, and we'll integrate it."
Well, it probably wouldn't happen, because all they'd be buying was access to the GitHub, so they'd be better off just creating their own version of the coin, really. Or my advice to them would be just to buy some audio coins and use it as it is, and forget the checks.
So Mark Zuckerberg, if you are watching, but just buy some Audiocoin and relax.
Yeah.
Stop buying companies. Stop buying companies.
That's the whole decentralization.
Your cemetery is full. Your cemetery is full.
Yeah. Why do you need?
With all the respect, I still love what Facebook does. I love what Google does, what Facebook does. We can laugh
Yeah,
about stuff, but they move technology forward.
Yeah, it's contentious, isn't it? I think the stuff around Cambridge Analytica and the way users' data was exploited for elections and things like Brexit and the US. You know, I mean, Facebook were complicit in that process, allegedly. Don't sue me. You know, and they got hauled up into court about that, and you know, Cambridge Analytica were forced to close down. So I think you know, around privacy and personal data, the SSI technology is going to be really important. The self-sovereign identity, because it protects privacy and gives the users control over their data, and the user decides who can see it and who can use it. So it's not deposited in some centralized database where you don't really know who's using it. For instance, I think a lot of the law enforcement agencies have access to Facebook data, which is fine for most people, but they probably haven't consented to that data being used. And self-sovereign identity and privacy preservation, I think, is going to be a really hot topic in the next 5 to 10 years. And
I think all the genies are out of the bottle already.
Yeah,
it's too late. It is way too late. A decade late to complain. And it is never late. But the genies are out already. They've had so many parties already.
Yeah.
Everybody's sharing information. Yes, up there at that level. And that's understandable.
Yeah, I think it's. I think because of COVID and a few other, you know, things that have happened, the pandemic, the privacy preservation has probably got shoved to the back of it because people are more interested in finding vaccines and making sure we can get back to normal. But I think once we are back to normal, then I think the data, your data, if your data can be used, you should be getting paid for it. So if you're releasing your data to a third-party company who might want to sell you a car or whatever, then you should get paid for that contact detail being shared. It shouldn't just be a box that you tick saying, I allow X and X company to contact me. It should be, yes, I'll allow them to contact me, but I want X amount of tokens for that privilege. That it needs to be more user defined. That relationship needs to be more, controlled by the user rather than some centralized body. That's my opinion, anyway.
And this is what Apple did now with their latest update with their iPhones. Absolutely, the government's well in doing that. Well, they had to step in. And do you want this app to track you? Do you want to allow this app to track you?
Yeah.
And I know myself, an iPhone user. Sometimes I allow it.
Yeah.
And mostly not.
Yes. Yeah. But when you think about how that data is so powerful and how it was used to influence elections, I mean, it's so valuable that you should be getting paid for it. And the fact that you're just giving it away for free is totally wrong, in my opinion.
Well, when people go to elections, they are always influenced by one or another meme. But getting paid for the fact that you get manipulated, no.
Well, it's not manipulation. It's more, you know, if I don't want to be spammed by, for instance, I hate right-wing advertisements and you know, any of this sort of hate speech that we see online. And you know, I know you can kind of put your interests and stuff in so that you get tailored advertisements, but I don't know. It's just I just feel that if someone wants to use your data, then you should be recompensed in some way. I'm not saying that will stop people selling the data to anyone just to get some money, but it's still better than the situation we've got at the moment.
Yes. My point is a bit different, but that's fine. I always remember what was the name? Giordano Bruno, the one who was burnt.
No, don't know that one.
No, it was the guy who said that the world is round. Giordano Bruno, I think. No?
Yeah.
Am I? Yes. And
he got burned for telling the
data.
truth.
Yes, the data should not be shared at all. Only when government comes with the paperwork. And as from my point of view, in the government there are people as well. Everybody is just a human being. Everybody is just a human. Everybody has got their weaknesses or something.
I agree with you. I don't think data should be shared at all, but there are circumstances where you might want to share your data, and if that is the case, then you should be recompensed for it. I'm thinking about traditional advertising, where at the moment, you pay for a business will pay for a Google AdWords campaign, and they will target certain users, and they will see adverts that are potentially applicable to them when they're browsing the internet. The user doesn't get any of that money. Google are getting all that money. At the moment, Google are making fortunes out of exploiting people's data. I think it's a great, don't get me wrong, I think Google is great, but it's a slight imbalance of the way, it's a bit like the music industry. All the money's been channeled into one, or in the music industry, 3 centralized labels. And with online advertising, obviously Google are getting all that money because they've developed the most sophisticated search algorithms. So it's always the user that seems to get exploited in the end.
Maybe, but we are users and we enjoy the products.
In most cases, yes. Yep, that's true. Yeah,
and we enjoy the products that haven't been around for 10, 20 years. And
But don't you find that sometimes it can be quite annoying when you might have been browsing, I don't know, for sofas, and then you get sofa adverts following you around for the next 3 months?
It is no, that's fine. I understand the cookies and stuff like that. But when I'm having a video chat with my friends on Facebook, when we are having a group call, and when we talk about, let us say, retreat, we would go to Malta, or somewhere else, or or Bahamas. We would go to Bahamas, and then I go to LinkedIn, and I see the travel advertising of Malta and Bahamas. Then that gets me worried. There is a certain line. There's a certain line. I'm worried when the voice conversations are, of course they are monitored. I understand that they could be monitored, but that's the speed that they are transcribed and shared to different.
It's quite spooky, isn't it?
Then yes, and this is nothing new, and everybody has seen.
Yes. Yeah, so that's my only point. If there was a pop-up and said, "Are you interested in Malta holidays?" and you clicked yes, and you got something back, then you're fine with the adverts because you've given your consent, and you're also getting something back. That's my only point.
Yes, and then if you want to collect some data, then from the other side, Google is horrible. As for example, we are using Google Analytics.
Yep.
Sophisticated, complicated, but they do not provide data at all. I've done few.
No, they don't provide PII data. It's just affinity groups and things like that.
They do not show at least half or 2/3 of your real visitors. I've been monitoring, so we use this Talk2 live chat platform to provide live chat support to our users, pre-sales and basic levels tech support for the better support. Everybody would need to go to and use support tickets. But and for example, I would say that we have 12 or 9 users at the same time in their dashboards, and in their dashboards doing something. I'm chatting to one or two, and Google shows only 1 or 2 people or 1 person. Google shows that there is only 1 person online from India, and you are thinking, come on, where is all the data?
So you reckon the data that's being fed into
they are
Google
not
Analytics
they are not
correct?
displaying. I'm absolutely confident This is my personal view based on my findings, and I understand that they need to weed out the bot traffic and all that other good stuff. But once I'm dealing with live chat with members, and Google definitely sees that when people are using live chat, and if they can't even see that those members are not bots, then that they are on purpose or for some other reason they are not displaying the real visitor. They are hiding lots and lots of traffic. I have switched over. I have made the decision to try Yandex, but they are Russians, and I'm a bit like, I want to get back to the point where I would probably not use any analytics at all.
Yeah. Well, I used to work in the travel industry, so I was like Google Analytics every day for website traffic and conversions and stuff like that. And I found it really good. Although I never did a real time comparison of visitors to. We couldn't basically. We just had to rely on Google Analytics, and it's great because it's free. Google Analytics is free. Such a sophisticated tool, all for free. It's brilliant. You can do split tests and all kinds of things. It sounds like an advert for Google, doesn't it? But you can understand why they're doing it free, because they're making so much money from AdWords that they're such a big company, they're able to provide that for free. And obviously it all feeds back into their AdWords customers because they're all using analytics as well. So yeah, I mean, it's brilliant. It's Google for advertisers and websites. Google's brilliant.
They see everything. They know that users are spending money on your website. They know which products they are buying, how much they are spending. Just give them access. They will pull in all the data. And for the webmaster, they will not give the keywords. They will not disclose so much information. But anyway, Google Analytics are awesome. Still, even with that data, they give absolutely awesome. And of course, you can work with your data and grow. Everything is about the growth. Okay, 1 hour 26 already has passed. Whoa. So, Ken, have we forgotten something?
I don't think so. I mean, I would advise anyone who's found this interesting and has got sort of more of an ethical stance on cryptocurrency to check out the websites that you've kindly already put up there and join the Discord channel if they'd like to. But yeah, no, it's there's a lot to come. And I think even though we're sort of quite an old company in cryptocurrency terms, I think we're only really just starting to see some real developments now, and some of the new features we've got, the code base upgrade, and some of the stuff around NFTs is really exciting. So it's a good time to be involved in online music.
And the last thing, once the wallet is installed, it does not sync. What do people need to do?
Okay, so if you go to audiocoin.co.uk, there's troubleshooting on one of the top menus. There's a troubleshooting page, and it shows you how to add nodes and use the bootstrap to get it synced up. It will still take a couple of days to sync up, even with the bootstrap, but it's worth the wait.
I see. Oh, I see. So it takes a couple of, as I wanted to go. I did follow I did follow the directions you sent me. It kind of started syncing, it stopped, and then it said as well. So it started pulling in from the year, blah blah blah. It went kind of up and nothing.
So it will import blocks up to the date of the bootstrap, which is February this year, I think, and then it will manually sync the remaining blocks. So if anyone's having trouble, just put a note in the Discord channel, and we can get you synced up quickly.
And then at some point you will see that everything is syncing, everything is good.
As soon as it shows syncing in the bottom left-hand corner, that means you're good. It should show the number of blocks that you're up to and how much time's left, or how many weeks of blocks still need to be synced.
That's fantastic. Ken, thank you.
Thanks, Helmuts. It's been really good to speak to you.
Really interesting. It's really interesting, to listen, especially to all the coins, and to hear all those stages you would go through.
Yeah, would I do it again? Probably not. But it's been an interesting journey.
Absolutely awesome. So if you are watching, if you like investing into small coins, smaller coins, cheaper coins, and still you want to put in something reliable, not that something would disappear at the first moment. Me myself, if I can give you advice to everybody who's watching, the first thing you should evaluate, is it a token or a coin? A token is something temporary. It is, if you are new to cryptocurrencies, stay away from tokens. Coins, go to tokens, go to coins only. Uh, my personal advice for people who do not understand anything, just stay on the safe side, and then go for all the projects and prospective projects that have got their own infrastructure and their own environment, and Audiocoin are one of them. And so that's the coin that has been around since 2013.
Correct.
And one ADC costs 3 satoshis at the moment, and today we are, yes. And the place where you can buy them is txbit.io, Scandinavian exchange, and go to Wine, listen music, create your account, and get your first coins. Share the music and get even more coins. That's it, free coins. Thank you, Ken. And what would be something? Could you tell something to people who are new to cryptocurrencies? What would be your message or your advice to them?
I would say that although it seems really daunting at first, if you put your toe in your water, you'll soon be diving in for a proper swim. If you're non-technical, there are plenty of sites out there to learn about cryptocurrency. Are very easy to understand. It's not for techies anymore. It's for everybody.
Thank you everybody, and get your Audiocoin. And we at Host Maria, we are happy and honored that we can host partly your needs or your solutions.
Yeah, we appreciate that, Helmuts, and it's been great to be a guest on your webcast so soon after we met. So thank you for that.
And thank you for giving us a try. And to all the Audiocoin tribe, you can use Audiocoin at hostmaria.com for anything, including even super premium 2-letter domain names. Whatever, everything is. I see the responsibility of that. From my point of view, the cryptocurrencies are there, but the business owners do not accept cryptocurrencies. And this is one of the missions that we should not missions, that these are one of the things that we should do. We should embrace the technology, we should understand it, and just allow internet to have their own currencies. Thank you everybody for watching. And Ken, what is the best way to contact you?
Probably via the Audiocoin website, or you can email support@audiocoin.eu. That's another story, actually, because we're based in the UK, and after Brexit,
you cannot.
You'll know all about this, of course.
Go on, of course.
So we actually have still got the domain, but it's hosted by somebody in Belgium, I think, and he just renews it for us. But we're not allowed to be an EU company, or it's something ridiculous around Brexit anyway. But yeah, that's,
so those who are watching, when the United Kingdom was in the European Union, all the citizens and residents of the UK could buy EU domain names. Once the UK left EU, you are not allowed. Technically, you can, but you are not allowed to renew these domains. You can still use them, but you are not allowed to renew them. or if you want to renew them, you have to have license address that is in European Union, and many British residents, citizens, and just lost or just are dropping their EU domain names.
Mm-hmm.
That's an interesting story.
Ridiculous, isn't it? I hated Brexit. I voted to remain, by the way. That'll ensure I get loads of hate mail. But yeah. I think it was 50-50 here, so it's a very contentious subject.
Yes, it was 50-50. Yes. Well, it was what it was. Life goes on.
Yeah, you got to put up with it.
Okay, and thank you, Ken. And of course, Audiocoin, audiocoin.co.uk and .eu and .com.
Yeah.
Thank you. Good night, all.
Cheers. Thank you.